Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Signal. Today's video was produced on Thursday, December 3rd, 2020, and in it, I analyze the stock Nutanix Incorporated, symbol NTNX. If you know nothing of Nutanix, I'll tell you about it. It's a cloud computing company that sells hyper-converged infrastructure software, cloud services, and software-defined storage. I found this stock by browsing different stock recommendation websites, some popular ones. There is a buy recommendation out on the stock by a popular analyst. I'm not going to get into all that. I take a look at the chart and I see not so fast. It needs a little bit more upward momentum, a little bit upward price gains for this to slip into a clear buy recommendation into January. Until then, I think the stock can fall south. It's presently trading at $28.63 a share, so it can fall back from here into the lower 20s because it is presently testing longer-term resistance. Before I jump into the meat of the matter, so to speak, let me just tell you about Wicked Signal. Please tell your investor and trader friends about wickedsignal.com. Have them go to the free subscription link at the top, fill out their first name, last name, email address, and they or you will receive an email every time a new video is produced and released. I don't fill your inbox with sales pitches, and I do not share your personal information with anyone outside the organization. So let's get back to the two broader points I'm going to make in this video. One is that I show sellable short setting resistance. Now, sellable meaning if you're long the stock, you may consider getting out of it in anticipation of the possibility of falling back into the lower 20s over the next month or two. Short setting meaning if you're not in this stock, you can play the short side of the stock by selling calls, buying puts, or outright short selling the stock itself. That's all up to you, of course. I'm just basically picture. So we are testing meaningful resistance now in the upper 20s. We have for the last couple of weeks. And because of that, this market can grow overbought and fall back into the lower 20s over the next month or two. Inversely, I will then agree with some of these analysts who are recommending this stock. If we settle above this key resistance, I'm going to show you specifically in this video. So if we close above this key resistance in the upper 20s, I do see an actionable buy signal into January upon weekly settlement above this area, then indicating upward continuation into the upper 30s over the next 2 to 3 months, over the following 2 to 3 months, roughly a 25% price gain if acted upon. And so let's just take a look at the chart itself. I'll get you familiar with this weekly bar chart, and I'll show you the sort of the extremes of this stock over the last 4 years or so, with a 46.78 2016 high, a 14.38 2017 low, rallying to an all-time stock high of 64.86 in 2018, and then we just have a series of lower low, lower highs, rotations all the way commencing with the 2020 low in March, the COVID low, if you will, of $11.31 a share. And since then, the stock has actually recovered nicely, presently trading $28.63. So let me open this chart up just a little bit over the last few years only and show you what I'm looking at is a channel top, classic textbook channel top that this week, the week of Monday, November 30th, is at $29.36, and it drops to $28.53 the week of Monday, December 28th, a full 4 weeks later. So as per usual, you can subtract these numbers out, divide by 4, and you'll have the exact location of this channel top through the month of December. And this is our ceiling. This is an area, as I say, that can contain buying through the balance of the year, even through the first quarter, and below which I'll show you that in a few moments, this market can fall back into the lower 20s. But as I say, if we can close above this formation at the end of any week, 29.36 the week I'm recording this, drops to 28.53 in December, the week of December 28th, this market shows a buy signal into the upper 30s. Now, whether that takes a month or 3 months to reach is obviously anyone's guess. I'm going to say probably closer to 2 months. If we close this week, for instance, above 29.36, that'll put us into later January, where I also show at that point in time a convergence of an ascending channel top and that long-term descending channel top, which will then be at 37.45. So, nice buy signal above 29.36, roughly 20 to 25% gains if that occurs. But until then, holding below 29.36 this week, 28.53 the final week of December. This market can fall back to two convergent or roughly convergent channel bottoms. One is near term, one is more mid-term, and they all come together in the lower 20s. You can see this week, and we're not going to test it this week, of course, 21.46 to 22.24, and they both rise to 22.56 to 22.80 that final week of December. 4 weeks apart. You can subtract these numbers out, divide by 4, and you'll have the exact location of this area, throughout the month of December. This is good bottom picking territory. And like I say, holding below that upper 20s resistance, the market is susceptible to falling back into the zone. I would be comfortable buying this area through Q1, possibly well into next year. From here, we can rotate on to new highs, but we do need to settle above that channel top, which I'm showing you here again. Final slide. At 6. We do need to get up and over this. We tested it a couple of weeks ago. We're just below it presently. If we can get up and over it, close above it at the end of any week, then we do have a nice buy signal actually into January, February, and I think the upper 30s would be expected. So, this is not, there's two ways to perform this analysis. I don't mind giving you the preliminaries, in other words, the tentatives, like, you have to sort of wait for the buy signal. There's not a buy signal that is in existence at this point in time, but you have the information now through December that would provide that for you. So, you watch this stock. If we get up and over, settle above this formation, I think it's a good opportunity to go long and stay long into the upper 30s. And by the way, that upper 30s, and this is the last point I'll make, if we see that upper 30s resistance between now and say the end of January, that is a solid zone of resistance that just might contain buying well into 2021. And inversely, if we can get up and over that, close above that upper 30s, and this is sort of a broader point, then that 64.86 high from 2018 I showed you at the beginning of this would then be in reach over the months to follow. But that is all I'm going to say for this particular Wicked Signal video on Nutanix Incorporated.